Hello students, today we're learning about safety basics. Electricity is a convenient source of energy. Its wide application has led to the second technological revolution in modern human history. It has given a strong impetus to the development of people's society. It has created great wealth for mankind, improved people's lives. But if you don't pay attention to the safety of electricity, electricity can also bring harm to the human body. This kind of harm is electric shock. The so-called electric shock is when the human body touches an electrically charged body. Flash discharge between the charged body and the human body, or an electric arc to the human body. When one of these three situations, the electric current passes through the body and the earth or other conductors, causing the energy in the form of electric current to pass through the body. The process of producing various physiological and pathological damage to the human body. Such injuries are multifaceted. Generally, they can be divided into two categories, electric shock and electric injury. Electric shock is caused by the passage of electric current through the human body and causes the internal organs in the physiological reactions and lesions of internal organs, such as tingling, burning sensation, spasms, stupor, ventricular fibrillation or arrest, difficulty or sensation of breathing. Electric shock is one of the most dangerous types of electrocution. More than 80% of electrocution deaths are caused by electric shock. When electric shock occurs due to the high voltage, the fatal current is small. The damage is mainly internal to the body. There are no visible signs on the outside of the body. Electrical injuries are due to the thermal, chemical, or mechanical effect. Injury to the human body's exterior often occurs at the same time as electric shock. The most common are the following 5 types. Electrical burns generally occurs in low voltage equipment or low voltage lines, involves contact between the body and an electrically charged object. Electricity passes through the skin of the body by the conversion of electrical energy into heat caused by burns. Arc burns generally occur in the event of missing handling or excessive proximity to an inductive charged body and arc discharge caused by the injury. Burns caused by the conversion of electrical energy into heat energy. When it produces a raw arc discharge, a current passes through the body, causing burns to the skin, or a high temperature arc occurs near the body, burns the skin like a flame, including molten metal liquid splash, caused by the splash of molten metal liquid. Due to the high temperature of the arc, can cause large deep burns, or even charring, burning away the body's tissue. Unlike electric shock, electric arc burns leave visible marks on the surface of the body, and the current is very high. Electric branding occurs when the body is in good contact with an electrically charged body. In this case, on the surface of the skin will be left similar in shape to the electrically charged body being connected, a permanent mark. Electrocautery marks sometimes does not appear immediately after electrocution, but rather appear after a period of time. electrocautery marks are usually not inflamed or pus-filled, but they often cause the scarred skin loses its elasticity, luster, epidermal necrosis, loss of sensation, metallization of the skin. Due to the extremely high temperature of the arc, can cause surrounding metal to melt, evaporates and splashes onto the skin's surface. The surface of the skin becomes rough and hard. The color depends on the type of metal, such as grayish yellow lead, green copper, blue-green brass, etc. Metallized skin after a period of time will automatically fall off. There are usually no adverse effects, but skin metallization often occurs at the same time as arc burns. Mechanical damage when the electric current acts on the human body due to the central nervous reflex and muscle contraction and strong muscle contraction, etc., lead to tissue fracture, fractures and other injuries, mechanical injury, electro-optic eye. When an arc light discharge occurs, a large number of infrared light is produced. Visible light, ultraviolet light, and other harmful rays. This type of light can cause great damage to the eyes, causing discomfort to the eyes, severe pain, fear of light, tears, redness, and swelling. In addition, human electrocution is often accompanied by mechanical trauma such as falling from heights or mechanical trauma such as a fall. Although this kind of trauma is not direct injury of electric current to the human body, but can be regarded as secondary accidents caused by electric shock, should also be included in the category of electrical accidents. When electric current passes through the human body, the degree of injury to the human body is related to the size of current, duration, pathway, type of current, and the condition of human body, etc. And there is a very close relationship between the various factors. There is a very close relationship when an electric current passes through the body. The human body will feel numbness, pain, and other sensations. In more serious cases, it can cause tremors, spasms, the heart stops beating or dies. The higher the current through the body, the greater the current through the body, the stronger the sensation for industrial frequency alternating current, depending on the size of the current through the human body and the different states of the human body. The current can be divided into 3 levels. Perceived current. It is the smallest current that a person can feel. Discharge current is the maximum current that a person can get rid of. The maximum current that a person can get rid of on its own. Lethal current is the smallest current that can endanger the life of a person in a short period of time. The smallest current can endanger a person's life when the current does not exceed a few hundred milliampere. The main cause of death from electric shock is that the current causes ventricular fibrillation or asphyxiation. Therefore, it can be assumed that the current that causes ventricular fibrillation is the lethal current for different people. Sensing the current, getting rid of the current, the lethal current will be a different value. The longer you leave it on, the more likely to cause ventricular fibrillation, and the greater the risk of shock. And the reason for that is the longer the time of energization, the accumulation of energy increases the current that causes ventricular fibrillation decreases. When energized for a short period of time, only at specific moments in the heartbeat can cause ventricular fibrillation. Therefore, the longer the duration of the energization, the greater the likelihood of coinciding with that moment. That is, the greater the risk of electric shock, the longer the time of energization. The resistance of the human body decreases due to sweating, etc., which leads to a further increase in the current through the body. The risk of electric shock increases. There is a strong correlation between the degree of injury and the current pathway. There is a strong correlation. The passage of current through the heart causes ventricular fibrillation, causes the heart to stop beating. Interrupting circulation leads to death. The passage of electric current through the central nervous system or related areas causes severe central nervous system disorders leading to death. Passage of electric current through the spinal cord can cause paralysis of half of limb. From the left hand to the chest, the current passes through the heart and has the shortest route. It's the most dangerous route from hand to hand. A single current also passes through the heart. Therefore, it's also a very dangerous current pathway. The current from foot to foot is a less dangerous current path, but it is possible to fall due to spasms. The current passes through the whole body or can cause injuries. A secondary accident, such as a fall. Relationship between the degree of injury and the type of current. Direct current, high-frequency current, surge current, and electrostatic charge. Degree of injury to the human body, generally less severe than industrial frequency current. Relationship between the degree of damage and voltage. When the human body has a certain resistance, the higher the voltage, the more current flows through the body, naturally cause more damage. The safe voltage for general environment is 36 volt. Due to the different conditions of the human body, different people have different sensitivity to electric current, and the degree of danger to different people when they are subjected to the same electric current. Different people have different levels of danger when they are shocked by the same electric current. Women are more sensitive to electric current than men. Children are less likely to get rid of electric current from electric shocks than adults. When a person has a heart condition, shock injuries are more severe than in able-bodied people. The higher the resistance of the human body, the greater the resistance of the human body, the lower the risk of electrocution. There are many factors that affect the electrical resistance of the human body. The main ones are the thickness of the skin, stratum corneum, when the skin is moist or not, sweating, damage, the presence of electrically conductive dust, skin contact area, contact pressure, etc. There are many ways in which the human body can be electrocuted. According to the way the human body touches the electrically charged body and the way the current flows through the body can be divided into single-phase electric shock, two-phase electrocution, and step voltage. Induced voltage and lightning shock. When the human body directly touches the conductor of one phase of energized equipment or line, current through the body, and the phenomenon of electric shock is called single-phase electric shock. There are neutral point directly grounded network and neutral point is not directly grounded network. Two kinds of cases. Neutral point directly grounded network. The occurrence of single-phase electric shock as shown in Figure 1. Current flows from a phase wire through the electrical equipment, human body, and then flows back to the neutral point through the earth. The voltage applied to the human body is the phase voltage. The degree of danger depends on the contact resistance between the human body and the ground. If a person stands on a dry, insulated floor, at this time, the insulation resistance between the human body and the earth is very high. The current through the body is very small. There is no danger of electric shock, but if the floor is wet, there is danger of electric shock. Neutral point is not grounded. Single-phase electrocution occurs in a power grid, as shown in Figure 2. In this case, current will flow from one phase wire through the electrical equipment, through the human body, to the other two phase wires, insulation resistance to ground, and distributed capacitance, and form a circuit. At this time, the magnitude of the current through the human body is related to the line insulation resistance and capacitance to ground. In the low voltage grade below 1 kilovolt, the capacitance to ground is very small. The current through the human body mainly depends on line insulation resistance. Under normal conditions, feeder resistance of equipment is quite large. The power supply through the human body is very small, generally will not cause harm to the human body, but when the insulation of line drops or insulation is damaged, there is still a danger of electric shock, and in 6 to 10 kilovolt high voltage power grid, due to the high voltage, line capacitance to ground is large, so the electrocution current is large. The capacitive current through the human body will jeopardize the safety of the electrocuted, plus arc burns can be fatal. Human body touching at the same time with energized equipment or two phase wires in a line, current flows from one phase line through the body, flows through the other phase line, constitutes a closed circuit. The phenomenon of electrocution is called two-phase electrocution, as shown in Figure 3. When two-phase electric shock, the voltage acting on the human body is line voltage. Current will flow from one phase line through the human body into the other phase line. In the current loop, only the body resistance. In this case, even if the electrocuted person wears insulated shoes or stand on an insulated platform, can't protect him. So it's very dangerous. When electrocuted by direct contact, the current through the body is larger. The danger is also great, often lead to fatal accidents. When a ground fault occurs in electrical equipment, ground current through the grounding body to the earth to spread, and in the ground around the grounding body generates a large electric field. The strength of the electric field decreases with increasing distance from the grounding body. Within 1 meter from the short circuit point of grounding, about 60% of the voltage drop. within 2 to 10 meters from the grounded short circuit point, about 24% of the voltage drop. 11 to 20 meters from grounded short circuit point, approximately 8% voltage drop. If someone walks around the short circuit point at this time, there will be a potential difference between their feet. This potential difference is the step voltage. Its value varies with the distance of the human body from the grounded body, and the size of the step changes. The closer the distance or the larger the step, the higher the step voltage, and vice versa. The smaller electrocution caused by step voltage is called stride voltage electrocution. When a person is subjected to step voltage, the electric current flows along the lower limbs of a person, from the feet through the legs, the crotch, and then to the feet and the earth to form a pathway. It doesn't pass through the vital organs of the body. It seems to be safer, but it's not, because when a person is subjected to a higher step voltage, and cause the body to fall to the ground, this not only increases the current applied to the body, but also changes the path of the current through the body. It's entirely possible that it could flow from the head to the hands or feet. Experience has shown after a person falls to the ground, the current in the body continues to act for more than 2 seconds. This kind of electrocution is fatal. Step voltage electrocution generally occurs in high voltage wires fall to the ground, but for low voltage wires fall to the ground should not be paralyzed. According to tests, when a cow stands in a paddy field, if the front and back span between the voltage between the front and back strides reaches about 10 volts, the cow will fall down. The current often flows through its heart, and if it's electrocuted for a long time, the cow will die. The magnitude of the contact and step voltages with the magnitude of the grounding current, soil resistivity, equipment grounding resistance, and the position of the human body. When a person wears shoes and boots, due to the ground and the boots, the insulation resistance, there is a voltage drop. The contact voltage and step voltage on the human body and step voltage will be significantly reduced. Therefore, it is strictly prohibited to operate electrical equipment with bare arms and bare feet due to electromagnetic induction and electrostatic induction, and electrostatic induction will be close to the charged body blackout equipment, or metal conductor induces a certain voltage. After the power outage, some of the equipment and lines that may induce voltage after a power outage if they are not connected to a temporary ground. These equipment and lines induced voltage to ground. When a person touches the equipment and lines with induced voltage and lines with induced voltage, the electric shock caused by the accident is called induced voltage electrocution. Research has shown that the human body is more sensitive to the electrostatic induced current. When 0.1 to 0.2 milliampere induced current passes through the body, there will be an obvious tingling sensation. Lightning strikes in the natural world are also a form of electrocution. Its voltage can be as high as tens of millions of volts, resulting in extremely strong currents. The electric shock can be very harmful. Lightning hazards can be found in almost every industry. The latest statistics show the damage caused by lightning has risen to the third place of natural disasters. Every year, there are countless cases of casualties, property damage caused by lightning strikes every year, according to incomplete statistics. China every year due to lightning strikes and the negative effect of lightning strikes and the negative effect of lightning strikes amounted to 3,000 to 4,000 people, property lost about 5 to 10 billion RMB. Safe protection is everyone's responsibility. Only by mastering the basic rules of electricity use, know the basic knowledge of electricity, can prevent accidents of electric equipment and personal electric shock can be prevented.